what I'm saying is that it's just the bean is floating there, and it looks beautiful on anything. So we love that we were able to put out the call for like a real community to form, and like now there's a real community behind it. And yeah, Rice Riddler, aka Ace, like fucking legend. So thanks, Faded, for the shout out.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. You and A's just have been a force to be reckoned with on the TL. And the funny thing is, I did see you as an Azuki for a time. And then when I saw you as a bean, it was much more memorable as a bean. And that's just crazy to me because it's like people still want that Azuki, but at the very same time, the beans really stand out on its own. It's quite literally, there's no other PFP like it. And it was only when the beans started catching much more traction during what I would call the cute meta that people started doing kind of like rip-off bean profile type of pictures with like, but I don't know. I think one was called Ghost Boy or another one was called something else that I can't remember off the top of my head. But point being is that there's something there, and you guys recognize that. So, look, really quick, we are 8 minutes over in terms of how I wanted to segue here. I know we got 3 hands up. One of them being my own fucking co-host. So what I want to do here is this. Zimmy, I need you to be short. Shotgun, I also need you to be short.
Dude, I'll just quickly shout out Faded because this man took his brand to a whole nother level. Because I remember the days where he was these nuts, and we would joke around that for like 30 minutes, and everybody would laugh like crazy.
Wait, so Faded is these nuts?
Those were the days.
Yeah, damn, he's these nuts.
I cannot. Oh my goodness! Wow,
yeah.
This is a big moment for me. I'm getting emotional.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He
evolved from these nuts. He evolved from these nuts to Faded the Bean. So just wanted to shout him out because that's huge.
Yeah, he went from these nuts to you Faded. Well, it took a couple days for me to find him. Not gonna lie. But yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, look. Speaking of these nuts, let's go to someone that looks like them. Zimmy, what's good?
What's good? I know you said keep it short. I am a short king, so that is easy as fuck to do. Dude, real quick, I'm going to spew through stuff because whoever said to take notes, that might have been D's nuts. I do that all the time. Stick with the loud voices. Dem, thank you for, I'm excited for our call at 6:05 p.m., so I appreciate you being able to carve out 5 minutes at 6 p.m. For Sansa. Real quick on the blemish, I feel like there's an opportunity for that person to keep that. And I actually remember as a kid, I got the Harry Potter Goblet of Fire book, and I was reading midway through, and just at a random part, all of the pages were messed up. And like my parents bought it at Costco, so they went back and they returned it, and they got one without the messed up pages. And that ended up being something that people wanted to collect because there wasn't like that many misprints. So sometimes those things are pretty cool. So maybe that person could think about that. And just in regards to like the beans community, because obviously I've been, following beans for a while. Like I have a lot of like great friends in like beans and Azuki as well. I think like one thing that I've noticed when it comes to like I'm not going to call them like secondary collections, but like that next expansion collection within like a umbrella is like good things take time for them to develop, especially just due to the nature of Web3, where Azukis are going to be given the beans as part of like utility, so they can obviously find a way to make profits or whatever that may be. So it does take time for those beans to then like circulate around in a community to be built. But I will say, like, even compared to 8 mutants, I mean, Pudgies, little Pudgies, what else? I had one more. D-Gods and Utes. I would say that like Azuki and Beans have one of the best cohesive communities that I've seen by working together, yet they are still so different. So that's just like an interesting combo that I've recognized. But that's all I just wanted to say there. And I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Zimmy. Them just notified me that my call is not canceled. Weird how that works. Anyway, did not think it'd be you that takes it away from me. First it's the.
I'm gonna switch back to my PA because of the art.
Yeah, that's going to be an immediate block from me today if that is the case.
Oh, and I'm doing it right now. Fuck it.
It's good knowing you, buddy. It's good knowing you. Anyway, look, Axis, you've been patient this whole time. What I want to do is this. I want you to give me a quick pitch what Axis is in a nutshell, and then we'll start throwing around if anyone has any hands. Don't worry, Waj. I will go to you literally right after. So just give me a moment here. Axis, wait, who's behind the account today?
Yo, it's Bossa again.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't want to say Bossa. And then the guy, someone that he's like, well, actually.
He always does this. He always does this. Like, he always get the wrong person when Super Space is coming here, and it's literally hilarious.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, is it Brett? You're like, no, it's George. But thanks for sounding excited. I'm like, oh, fuck me. But anyway, boss, yeah, you and I literally just did an AMA 2 hours ago in Discord. Literally. So let's jump into it. For the people here on Twitter Spaces, what is Axis? And give us a quick little pitch in like 60 seconds.
Awesome. So real quick, I'm speaking as NFT Bossa under Axis Mundi account. And I recently just got hired as their content creator and community manager. So pleasure to being here. Shout out Espresso Shot. I love everyone. The energy's been crazy. But yeah, Axis Mundi. So Axis Mundi is pretty much an interactive and gamified NFT experience based on thousands of dynamic NFTs that can be shaped by the holder's decisions, right? So our focus is on how can we make NFTs or these JPEGs that sit in our wallet, how can they be more interactive with our daily, lives, whatever, right? So, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to introduce a very interactive storyline on top of combining AI technology with 3D artwork. So if I can just maybe pin something here real quick, just to kind of show everyone the kind of, art approach that we're going for. But our main launch that just recently happened today, we launched an open edition called Energies. And pretty much what Energies are is pretty much the puzzle piece in order to start building your first NFT, right? And that first NFT is called the Beings. Right, so you have energies that are needed in order to build a being. And for this current launch, we did it at 0.009. It is an open edition, so supply is pretty much unlimited. And to pretty much, I guess, get started first in the first act of our project is you need at least 5 energies, right? And again, we think at the price of 0.009 isn't something too low or too high in this market. We wanted to go with something that I felt like was really affordable. So that's why we went with that. But yes, to kind of just give a little quick introduction, that's what we have going on today. That's who we are. And yeah, that is pretty much Axis Mundi.
I love it. By the way, for a slight second, it sounded like you needed energies to build a being. And I was like, ooh. I was like, is this an Azuki Axis crossover? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but a great explanation. What I do want to do really quickly, throw it over to Waj, get rid of the hand, and then we'll circle back to the second question. Go ahead, Waj. What you got?
Well, it's kind of gotten stale now since you waited so long, but I was just going to offer Dem my services as representation when he wants to negotiate with Azuki. I'm fully available for hire. We can play hardball with him. We can be trashing the timeline. We can make it public. We can keep it private. Whatever works for you, Dem, just hit me up in the DMs and we can work out payment.
Yeah, hit them with the cease and desist, baby.
Everyone loves that. See, desist. Let's do it. And people are like, did anything happen? No, we just wanted to send a notice of cease and desist. Shotgun, go ahead, my man. What you got?
Now, first of all, shout out to Axis. I was also in the Twitter space earlier with them, Chiefs. And I really think it's interesting, the idea. They have a whole concept where, at the end of the day, they want each NFT to look like whatever you want it to look like. And I feel like that level of customization is cool. So I would like Balsa to how is it going to happen? Like you guys say that, this is the NFT that you are going to customize, you're going to grow alongside it, which funny enough brings that Pokemon vibes that Sansa just dies for. So I was wondering, like, how exactly do people are going to be able to customize and shape it as you guys develop the whole ecosystem?
Right, right. And it's funny you mentioned Pokemon because I think even in Shiv's space, Shiv brought up that it reminds him of Pokemon.
That was me.
So-
I was the one that
I
brought up.
literally
I was the one that
also
you
brought
shot
up Pokemon in the Discord AMA this
Yeah.
morning too. I'm like, I don't know. I
Yes.
don't want to say it, but kind of getting Pokemon vibes from it.
Right, right. But yeah, Shotgun, to answer your question, so throughout the project, there's gonna be 8 acts, or in I guess another term is like 8 chapters, right? And within each chapter, there's gonna be multiple, I guess, events or experiences where a holder must make a decision with their beings, right? And some can be like you burn the being, or you have to stake the being, whatever it be, right? But the whole point is these decisions that the holder makes, it like alternates the route of the creation of the NFT. Because there's going to be times where you might have to burn your current being in order to summon a new being. And that new being that you can achieve, right, it goes up in rarity, it goes up in value. So sometimes like people are unaware of what decision to make, but that's the goal, right? We want our holders to be always caught up in that mysterious factor. And I feel like that's something that people love about NFT projects is like you really can't predict what's next. So that's what kind of makes it fun being a holder. So that's our focus with like how can a holder evolve the NFT. But again, it truly just depends on honestly like the personality of the holder, what decisions they make, and that alone is going to lead them to the result. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers your question.
Yeah, it does for sure, man, and I love it because I personally I don't have a lot of experience with burning mechanisms. So when I first read, I was really really confused about how it was going to work exactly. But just hearing it coming out from you guys, it just makes it easier. So I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to touch on, you guys went live today. You guys are minting, but I also heard that you guys got another mint coming up of September. Am I right? So I just wanted you to kind of differentiate what like how the two mints are different from one another, just so it's clearer for people.
Right. So the beings that you just mentioned, that's going to be the mint in September, specifically on the 22nd. But the whole point of the order of energies first and then being second is because you need the energies in order to evolve the being, right? And beings, they evolve in 3 stages. So obviously the first one is like the birth of the being. And for people to get started, or if they actually want to interact with our ecosystem, we set it at a 5 minimum of energies in order to just summon the birth of the first being, right? And then throughout each stage, throughout each level, the amount of energies that's going to be required to fulfill that next phase, it might be 10, it might be 5, right? So it varies along, I guess, the demand as well, right? Seeing how well our holders are responding to these kind of concepts. But for now, we just set it at a minimum of 5 energies to like summon the first being. But yeah, in terms of like the reason why it's in September is because it's still in backend development. It's literally everything that you see on our Twitter. I would say we have the first phase of the project done, but now we're focusing on the second phase. So yeah, we felt like that 2-month gap is just the right amount of time to get this rolling out, do some beta testing and whatnot, and then when September happens, it'll officially launch. But yeah, that's the connection between the two.
Absolutely, man. Definitely. It's very clear. I love how you explained it. But, just another thing that I wanted to dive in, because I feel like you guys just quickly went through it when we're at Shifts. So can you dive in a little bit more on how you guys are approaching, building your own community, bringing in people? I know that you guys have a very, affordable entry as a main price, as an open edition. So how exactly are you guys going about it?
So yeah, that's the thing. And one thing too I want to bring up is that you mentioned, Shotgun, that like you don't really understand how these like burning mechanisms work sometimes, right? And I feel like that thought alone, it can scare other people as well, right? Just because someone doesn't understand the technology, that alone is like, oh, I don't want to invest into something, right? So the way we approached it, and to make Access Mundi a little bit more attractive, is we put a lot of attention on the branding of Axis Mundi, right? Even I believe the name Axis Mundi, if I remember this correctly, it's like the stages between heaven and hell. So it's like the equilibrium between heaven and hell. So it's like super abstract, right? And again, I literally just joined the team like a month ago, and I'm still just catching up with a little bit of the lore of the project. But from what I understand, we're approaching it in a way where we want holders and the community that we're interacting with to use more than like critical thinking, especially if you're a creative and if you're an artist in this space. And if you love NFTs as the art as what it represents, that's the kind of mind that we're trying to tap into, and I feel like that's such a slept on niche of the NFT audience that not a lot of people are really taking advantage of. I mean, you have like Luca Nets of Pudgy Penguins that, he says emotional utility is like the best utility, right? And so like that's something we're also trying to tap in as well. It's like, how can we just create more emotional value than the actual price of the NFT of what it's labeled, right? So branding is such a huge part of us. And then also the way we onboard our users. Again, our Discord is currently private, and we like it that way just because you really foster the relationships with the early members for like quite some time, right? And especially we have a system of where we only open our Discord sporadically throughout the months, so it's not something where it's going to be public for a certain amount of days or weeks. It's literally just like, here's an invite for just one day, and then the next day is closed. So we focus on exclusivity, trying to make sure that there is some kind of a mysterious factor about us. And I feel like we nailed that pretty well just by our art alone and our content. But yeah, so far it's literally just been 1 month in. As for myself, what I can say for my team, since I just joined late, I think the other 3 core team members, they've been working on Axis Mundi for about 2 years now. So this has been something that has literally been in the works for 2 years. And just recently, this past year, they finally decided to launch, So yeah, it's fairly exciting. And again, I'm just grateful to be a part of this.
Nah, boss, I love it. Thank you for the quick introduction. Just real quick, before we move on with this conversation, everybody that's in the audience, feel free to request if you have any questions for Balsa, or if you want to ask anything for them, or me, or Sansa, anything, feel free. Raise your hand. We'll get to you ASAP. If you can't come up, feel free to also drop in the comments. I'm going all over those. So if you have any questions, whether that's for Axis or for them, can just go in there and read it for you.
Real quick,
Oh.
Shotgun. I also want to do a quick read, quick read from the initial question of the day, because it would be silly for me to ask a question and not read some of the comments.
Do you know what's silly? You pretend like you assuming that Web3 MFers have a morning routine. That's silliest. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just want to hope, you just want to have some hope. Otherwise, none of us would be here. Right? Without some kind of hope. I mean, yes, just because Dem puts Bailey's every morning in his coffee doesn't mean he's gonna not have hope. He has a morning routine. He has to go get the Bailey's liquor out of the cabinet, pour it into the coffee while the coffee's going to the cup, because otherwise it doesn't mix in right. It gets weird. Again, according to Dem, I wouldn't know. But that's right. A morning routine. Yeah, that's a morning routine. But that's why he's all loosey goosey right now. He's ready to spill some of the teas. So he does. Beans. To spill the beans. I really blew that one, huh? All right. Let's go with some light ones. Starting with Zimmy. You don't want to know. Yeah, none of us do. Okay. Well, especially from him. And then we got Kagio. Good morning, Web3. Breakfast coffee. School runs. Good morning, Web3. Cooking on power. Interesting. Okay. Hopefully wake up in time for the espresso shot. Training myself to wake up earlier. Girl, same. And then we got Elijah, who's got wake up, push-ups, water, read, no phone for the first 30 minutes, walk for 30 minutes, coffee, and emails, and then each day is different from there. I love it. Then we got Shotgun, the fucking bozo. Why would you assume I even have one? This might be my favorite one. I'm gonna retweet this one real quick. Wake up, coffee, check if Sansa still loves me. Always. It's just impossible. I mean, if Dem was like, give me a espresso shot, I would give him the espresso shot. And I mean the shot. I'd be like, all right, Dem is officially the host. Everyone move on over to his channel. That's just how this works. Yeah, it's that simple.
It's over.
It's over. It's over. And that's it. And then let's and we're gonna wrap. We're gonna we'll read one a little bit later. Jester with coffee, work, and the espresso shot. I mean, I think that one's the best one yet. That one might be the best one yet. All right. Look, we got 2 hands up. Let's go shotgun and then Kuro. Go ahead.
Nah, actually, let Kuro cook. Then I'll just throw my question to Balsa. Kuro, what's good, my man? GM.
GM. Yeah, I was going to say the first thing I do when I wake up is I take a shower. Then I take my dog for a walk. Then I meditate for an hour. And then I doom scroll. And then I look for you guys. Yeah, that's pretty much my mornings.
I mean, that's the detail.
That's bleak.
That's just like, that's a whole nother level that only some of us could aspire to reach.
But Kuro's a warrior, man. Like, he's just in the front lines every day, so he doesn't need it. He doesn't need all that like mental health stuff. He's just living life on the raw edge, and that's why we love Kuro.
That is a fact. I try to be as unhinged as possible after 2 p.m. every day. So
that is a fact. That's why we're lucky to have him beforehand.
Morning meditation after the walking with the dog, because the dog triggers me. NBA young dog. I love him, but he stresses me.
Ain't no way you said NBA young dog, bro. Ain't no way.
I did, bro. If you see the way, like, my dog like chewed up his seatbelt. I bought another one yesterday. He's already snapped it. He doesn't like to just sit there. People keep asking me, is he okay, when they see the car ride videos. He's fine. Hey,
I'm so dead, man. I actually went to an NBA YoungBoy concert when I was like 18. Things was crazy, but
all right. Well, bottom right hand corner, if you want to hear more about Kuro's dog, let's retweet it, get it out there. I know Kuro loves talking about his dog. He especially loves how his dog just chews everything up like a cute little puppy.
You know what's ironic about that is he won't chew anything but that fucking seatbelt. Like, he won't even, like, I give him bones all the time. He doesn't care about them. He has like this teddy bear he walks around with pointlessly around the house. He won't chew that up either. But that seatbelt.
That damn seatbelt's been looking
infuriating, my friends. Infuriating.
Yeah, sure is.
Infuriating.
I'm infuriated for you, if I'm being honest. That's I mean, I also paid a lot of money to have my dogs trained. So thankfully,
my dog's very well trained. It's
except for the seatbelt chewing.
Yeah. I don't know how to. I sprayed the sour spray on it yesterday when I attached it to his collar. He didn't care. He still chewed it with the sour spray on it.
Carol,
and I tasted the sour spray, and it's absolutely horrible. I wouldn't do it myself personally.
I think your dog is just channeling its inner Kuro. It's just fucking rootless. It's just getting out
violence.
There. It's like this bean.
Yeah.
An NBA young boy had a puppy, and that's my puppy.
I can't believe that I just did that on stream, and Chris is probably going to figure out a way to meme the fuck out of this.
I'm so glad that I'm not looking at your face right now.
Bro, I love looking at this. The stream's great. I'm just looking at you, outside, like just really trying to be, and I'm so happy I'm not dogs. I'm just fucking loving it.
All right. Let's reel this back in, boys. Let's reel this back in. Well, before we reel it back in, before we do that, before we take the question over to Axis, damn, we said we were easing into this, spilling the tea, you said something earlier on about why you're doing the media tour, and then you kind of like ended it really hot. So, I have my oven mitts on now, and I'm ready to pick this back up where we left off. If you want to spill a little bit more beans here, so what you got?
Man, Sansa, that's why you're still hosting Twitter Space instead of dumping on your followers. I dropped the alpha, and then you're like, oh, that's just the start of the alpha. That's the alpha. Like Azuki has a community of people that are willing to put their money where their mouth is and build comics. They build manga. They build animation. They build kids books, and you can't beat a decentralized brand in that sense because you have so many different individuals creating separate organizations but all pushing towards the same brand and the same IP. So it's not like a short term like buy the news, sell the rumor. It's just more of a long term like, how I'm sometimes sleeping and at 3 a.m. I wake up and I think decentralized brand and it just wakes me up. Like I can't think about anything else, can't go back to sleep. Well, today's one of those days. I just woke up and I was like, decentralized brand. People building IP, people building comics, people building manga stories around their Azuki avatars, around their Beans characters that will sort of live forever. Like storytelling, such a huge part of how we consume news. Like just look at how Apple presented their Vision Pro. It's not in many ways not a new product, not a new technology, but it's a great narrative. It's like a great story. So look at stories and look at storytelling, and then look at what the Azuki community is doing. So why am I going on a media tour? Because I feel people are not hearing me when I say like there's a whole community of people here building really dope shit that it's going to have a long lasting effect. Like you're going to read Comic 1 by Spirit Dao. You're going to be like, I can't wait for number 2 to drop. You're looking at Neon Garden. You're like, you love the first episode. Well, the second one's coming out. Like these kind of things, Age of Valor 24/7 comics, like they're dropping a comic with Azuki. These kind of things over time, they add up, they pile up. And then you're in love with a set of characters. You're in love with a brand. And at some point it becomes nostalgia. And when it becomes nostalgia, then you have an IP powerhouse. So, I don't want to sound overly bullish, but I did wake up at 3 a.m. today and I was like, decentralized branding. And I just had to get on as many spaces as possible. So yeah, maybe I'm just bipolar and I'm ramping up. Maybe that's what's going on.
Damn, I love you. This is amazing. But yeah, no, this is the reason why. This is why Azuki has ramped up these like really. I feel like Azuki never really stopped ramping up. If I'm being honest, right? If anything, they just adjusted, and that's something that it has shown over the course of the last year. They went through the FUD. They survived the FUD, and not only survived that, there are people more wanting to build and get in Azuki to build with this community. So that's been beautiful to witness and see from someone who started out as an outsider to someone who's now inside the community and doing so much more within it. So I can say that with confidence.
Look at this. You got Yoshi up here and the speaker. He started Red Bean Coffee. He's been selling fantastic coffee. I start my morning with Red Bean Coffee every day. What a great brand. And now he's Bobu proposal is going up for a vote pretty soon. He's going to do this amazing like cold brew Bobu branded coffee. This guy just goes out and gets it. Like he gets these deals with people. Like he gets into these rooms because he's part of this community and because he knows that like there's going to be a community support in it. And because the Bobu Treasury is going to be supporting it. We get a yes vote from the community. So it's just those things like I just don't want people to get distracted with like the SEC suing Binance, the SEC suing Dem, the SEC is suing Dem's mom. Like, why are you suing my mom? I don't want to get it. Gary Gensler, like we've had him for dinner a few times. Bad breath, kind of an idiot. I don't want people to get distracted with that shit. I want people to think about like community building, like the sort of connections that we built here, because there's a momentum now that it's really really exciting to see coming from the Azuki community and from a lot of other communities. Like, I don't want to fade anyone here. I love that we have access up here. And yeah, man, I mean, look, Faded give you the numbers. Like Beans have been taking over in terms of like PFPs, in terms of like really strong brand builders. So I don't usually just go on spaces and get bullish, but today, man, I'm feeling good.
First of all, I got a couple of things. One, the face that Chris made when you said your mom. My man Chris is so good at maintaining a stoic face. saying light smile, maybe a little laugh here and there. Otherwise stoic. But today he made that like shock face the moment he said that.
I was like, damn, you said
And
my
that's
mom?
an accomplishment.
Well, my mom is operating as a fucking unlicensed securities exchange in the USA, bro, and they're on to my mom. They're gonna catch her. So can't get her though. She's not in Spain. She's not in.
Yeah.
I just revealed my mom's location. Damn.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Well, it was good knowing your mom for the couple minutes that we gave her. No, I'm just kidding. So, but damn, I kind of want to take what you were talking about. We're going to circle back to Apps here with that. Boss. Fuck it, I hate when I say, "Oh, well, Apps is the brand account." How do you feel about that?
That's why I run the AMA part of the show, because these guys can pronounce he
okay.
can't like speak people's names.
Wait, relax for a second. But two things that Dem brought up that I kind of want to take and throw over to Bossa real quick is that Bossa, you were talking about you are going on a tour essentially as well, right? In this last week leading up to the Open Edition, and I believe we said the Open Edition was open for 72 hours starting from today until the 9th. Yeah, I could do math. Awesome. Fucking love it. And the min price for anyone that is wondering and is actually wanting to participate is 0.009. So there's 2 zeros, not 1, there's 2. 0.009. Just so y'all know. And community wise, you do have a Discord. I think you said there's a few hundred people in it. And do you want to talk about some of the things, that you guys feel like you're doing well? I mean, you are the community manager. So like, what do you feel like you are doing well that you've been doing for the last month that you've been hired? And then what do you think that you want to do going forward to build this genuine community a little bit more that you feel like you're going to be doing a good job of?
No, that's a great question. First of all, I just hate how I'm like the one that makes things go serious. I know I'm representing Access Mundi, and it's like, all right, we're going back to the show. Like, dude,
So what is your professional
It's all right.
opinion on the Cuban Missile Crisis?
I had to be serious for like a year and a half until Azuki floor price stabilized, and then I started being silly. So you'll get your time. Don't worry about it.
No, I appreciate the advice, man. But no, damn, I like lost my train of thought right there. Sansa, you're gonna have to remind me that question, bro. What was your question?
Yeah, no. I'm glad you said that, because I did need to rephrase that fucking long ass 2-sentence question. I mean, who asks a fucking run-on question? Not me. Well, I just did. Anyway, point being the question was, what do you foresee? First of all, what do you think that you've done well so far, building this community that you have right now of Access? And going forward, whether you're going to change something or add something, whatever the point is, what's your plan to build it even more?
Right. So I mean, the first month is like, I don't know. Here's what I believe in is it doesn't take 1 month to be like, oh, this is exactly what I'm gonna do. This is exactly blah blah blah. Like for me, 1 month, and this is based on my experience, is like I had to understand first who we are, what kind of brand is Access Mundi, and like what kind of community am I looking for? Because I feel like if you rush these kind of things, and if I were to lie up here and say, oh yeah, I actually do have a strategy, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, no, not really. Like my whole thing is I'm just active every single day with the community. I'm talking to people. I'm representing Access Mundi on Twitter on my personal brand. So it's like every day I carry that responsibility to make sure some form of awareness or connection is like going on, right? So as much as I'd like to say, like, yeah, the first month, this was that, it was that, like, no, not really. I'm just like, it's like that little Uzi meme. It's like, oh, it's just my 3rd day out here. That's literally how I feel right now. It's like, it's literally just my 3rd day out here. I'm literally still understanding more of like our vision and goals for the project. And yeah, I hope that was the only question, right?
Can I say, never lose that attitude though. I think Jeff Bezos of Amazon is famous for always saying like, it's always day one. Like it's still day one. Like it's just that concept of like always looking at things with a fresh set of eyes. So don't feel bad that you're new to the thing. I think that that's your power, even if you've been like 6 months in, 8 months in. You know, like the minute I get settled in my job, the minute I start looking at my community like it's day one, is the minute we start to like get grow stale, stop changing. Like we started heavy on Discord, then we're like go very heavy on Twitter, then we're going back to Discord, then we're like the timelines like this, timelines like that. We're always looking at everything like it's day one. So I think that's a great attitude to build a great community with.
Yeah, and I think you hit it right on the dot. That's just something. Honestly, like you're representing Azuki, right? And to me, like Azuki has always just been that high respected community, and so yeah, there's definitely so many things that I'm still learning of like how to really manage a community. But so far, the first month, it's very just been a lot of experimentation. You know, testing out theories and just being as active as I can. But yeah, I really appreciate the advice though.
Yeah, keep it going. Like we oh yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
Actually, you can go ahead, Dem. If you had anything to add on that point, you can go ahead.
you can go, you can do whatever you want. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Dem.
It's I mean, for us at Chiru Labs, it's across the organization. Like it's not just me looking at things like it's day one. I think Saga is notoriously just like going into every single tweet that works and seeing why it worked well. And he's like, wait, what do you think? Was it the link? Like even today, he was like, hey, I just saw this guy. He posts the links, but he puts the links inside of like the images and stuff. And it's just that obsession with like experimenting and trying new stuff that that makes it so that we can stay relevant. Because we are technically dinosaurs at this point. Like what, a year and a half, or like almost 2 years on NFT space. Like, oh my goodness, they're coming for us. So we got to stay fresh, and we got to keep it tight for the community, and just be aware of like what's happening. And for that, you got to keep an open mind and just feel like being a novice is not a bad thing. So I love that you're thinking about it that way.
Damn, what you just described is literally like, I feel like the biggest fucking problem that a lot of projects have, even newer ones that come out. Because of how fast the spaces move, you do have to stay fresh. You do have to stay relevant in some sort of way, right? And you don't have, and I feel like so many people think like this, is that you have to be relevant in like the most eye-catching way possible. You don't. You absolutely do not. You don't have to be the post that's 500 likes and comments. You don't have to worry about being the post that's 10, 20 comments or whatever. You can be the one in the middle. That's 100, 80, 200, whatever, right? That's still staying relevant in my opinion. And I'm not using engagement as in that case. I'm just using those numbers as an example, a very visual and objective example to kind of describe what that might look like for really anybody. And so that's one of the biggest, what's the word I'm looking for? One of the biggest issues that a project like Yuga, in my opinion, is having. They're not really staying that relevant. Everyone's just kind of like, never fade Yuga, even though they've been quiet. Oh, Doodles has been quiet for a couple months. Fuck Doodles. And it's like, I'm sorry, but there's not really a huge discrepancy between these two, and no, I'm not comparing the projects. I'm just comparing the communication and PR between those two that's happening. And whether you're old project or a new project that just minted a week ago, you have the same problem, staying relevant and staying fresh to the point where people understand what you're about, but also so that they stay engaged with your community. So that's everyone's trying to build a community at the end of the day. So sorry for that long little bit of rant, but Shaka, go ahead, and then Dem, you can go ahead and take it.
I'll just come clean. Like when Dem said, "Oh yeah, shotgun," I was actually taking notes. I was like, "Damn." But I just wanted to kind of connect both points because Dem just came out here and said that we're about to go back to the days where we're here for the art, and at the same time, the art from Maxis is actually something that really caught my eyes and attention because they actually merge like AI art with 3D rendering. So that's actually like a pretty unique look from my personal opinion. So I would just like to ask Balsa, like, I feel like every project in the space that like really work hard on their artwork, they try to connect and create an emotional bond, just like you said, that Luca, is trying to do with Pudgies, and you look at the Azuki community, the art really talks to the people, right? It gets the attention from like anime fans and this type of things. So I was wondering, from your artwork, from the Axis artwork itself, like what type of people do you think the artwork talks to or gravitates toward?
Right. Wait, real quick. I see Dem's hands is up. It's bothering me. I don't want to speak if Dem wants to say something. Go ahead, Dem.
I was just gonna tell Sansa how he's wrong, so I'm gonna save it for later. I do want to hear the answer, Shotgun, because from
God damn!
I want to talk about art.
Got you. Okay. No, yeah. That's a great question, Shotgun. And here's the thing though, is like when I first met the team and when I had my onboarding meeting, when they were explaining to me that the artwork isn't made to be like the PFPs that we see relevant in Twitter nowadays, right? There's Beans, there's Azuki, like those look good as PFPs, right? So in our approach and in our sense, it's more so like how can we visually impact the holder just by like looking at our logo or looking at our brand, right? It's maybe like the same thing when you see a check sign, you probably immediately think like Nike or something like that, right? So it's the same thing with us, is like we're not so reliant on the IP, right? We're reliant on the technologies that we're combining with AI tech, 3D artwork, and the storyline narrative of building a dynamic NFT. Can that be a marketable product to like any kind of audience, right? And obviously, of course, we want to be Web3 native. But as far as like the artist approach, I definitely think we're more in the abstract lane. Again, if you take a look at our photos on our Twitter account, it's literally crazy. It's like the movie Interstellar, but if they had like aliens in it, So it's pretty unique. It's pretty interesting. And in my own personal taste, I am more of like that vibrant kind of like the youth Suzuki color palette. But this is the first time where I came across a project when I met Axis Mundi that, they're taking a whole different approach in Web3. And honestly, like if they continue to stay true to their vision and sticking true to what they want to do with the technology, then I can almost guarantee you within 1 to 2 years from now, Axis Mundi is going to be like a leading project, But yeah, as far as the art approach, definitely more in the abstract. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool, that 3D look.
And I could not agree more. I mean, when I say it caught my attention, it's on a positive note for sure. Like it's a really high quality. And the question comes because I really haven't seen any other project that, looks like you guys. So it's really caught my attention right there. But I see Block with the hand up. Mutinate PFP. It's sick. Not gonna lie. It's a good looking make. There are some of them that look
was
weird.
a low key. That was a low key jab. Yeah. Yesterday we had a whole talk about it. We said there were 2 floors that I posted up.
Nah, listen, Sansa. When I saw it was a mutant, I actually was opening the profile and checking if it was one of the good ones or if it was one of the bad looking ones. But this one actually looked cool. So Block, GM, my man, was good.
Bro, like, when I popped in this space, all I heard was FUD, Azuki, FUD Apes. I was like, hold on. I follow the host. I need to go defend my brand over here. So I was like, no. I was just going to say to the listeners, I was like, no. I need to go up there and defend our name. I had to make it right. Even if I had to, make my own one right. Like, there's an ape in here. Bro, you're a disappointment to Yuga, bro. How can you just sit in this space and let him FUD us like that, bro? We should be protecting our own bags over here.
God, well, look,
I was gonna say you're so wrong, Sansa, because what you're referring to is that when you're trying to build something truly meaningful, you go through this cycle. You need time. You need time to build it, and so the good brands, the blue chip brands, the brands that you see everywhere, they've built some sort of flywheel. Like we are very focused on the flywheel that we're building, but they've built some sort of flywheel where we deliver dope shit only. We deliver really high quality stuff, which creates trust from the community, which allows us to like use that excitement to get great partnerships, to hire great people, which also gives us time from the community. Like the trust from the community gives us more time to build stuff. And then we are able to deliver more dope shit. And we keep spinning that flywheel around and around and around. But it means there's going to be times, like if you were looking at Azuki in February, where we're dropping less stuff. We're making less noise. We're still connecting with the community. We're still talking with people. We're community first. But it just means that it goes through these cycles. So like, when Board Club was killing it, like when Yuga was killing it with all the Dookie Dash drops and all that stuff, everybody was like, oh, what's Suzuki doing? Like, what's Suzuki got cooking? That's just the nature of the traders in the space. It's the nature of how people are. But you can't deny that Yuga and Doodles, to their core communities, have developed this flywheel of trust to a certain extent, just the way that Azuki has done it. And so that's why Azuki holders and Beast holders are happy to just wait for the next announcement, because they have a trust with us that when we do announce something, it's like as dope as it can be, as good as it can be. It rewards the core community and it expands the brand. And we take time to do those things. So when you're saying like negative stuff about Yuga and Doodles, I just gotta call you out, man. You're not right. You're not right. You're looking at a part of the cycle, not the full year.
I'm trying to bring the price down so I can buy in. I mean, we got to talk about this at 6. We can't keep doing this.
We have like 5 minutes, so we gotta be quick.
It's always Zimmy. It's always my little brother.
Yeah, the crazy part is he's rocking a Azuki. Oh my god.
Anyway,
it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
We appreciate Sansa because Sansa keeps it 100.
Yeah. Look, I'm nothing if not transparent. People were complaining earlier this week that I posted thank you for 18K when I'm at 19K. They're like, why are you posting 19K? You're at 19K, stupid. And I'm like, you're stupid. I got botted. So I really want to say 17K, if I'm being honest, but I decided to be a little dangerous. I'm confident. So I said 18 instead of 19. Too close to 19 for my comfort, And these motherfuckers had the audacity to say to me, it's bothering my OCD. And I'm like, well, get over yourself, quite frankly. That's all I have to say to you, good sir, ma'am, wherever,
But I want to say, like, in terms of building, like, yes, I think Azuki and Yuga, those are the two NFTs that are, like, delivered massively. Like,
Clones over Yuga. I'm sorry to say.
No. Hear me out. In terms of delivering
3D files,
yes,
3D beans. I seen some people with 3D Azukis. Where's the 3D assets for Yuga? Let's talk about it.
Oh, I got them. Actually, hold on. I'm about to DM you my 3D assets. Yeah, my shit's done. Can you believe this shit? It's actually done. I'm actually fucking excited, bro. But like when it comes to Yuga and Azuki, the two NFTs that have delivered the most utility back to holders, I mean, fucking tons of utility. But when it comes to creation, hands down, it goes to the fucking CloneX community, bro. CloneX community is number one when it comes to content creation. That's what got me bullish on,
Well, there's a thing here is that the clones and the Azukis are tied for number one and I include the beans and the Azukis, right? They're both tied for number one to me because like I never seen more commissions for artists than the Azuki community. Okay, we're starting to catch up a little bit with the clones, but you know what? The thing is this is a creator revolution by any means, man. The creators rule this timeline, and that's
Sansa, it's your time to shine. Girl,
hold on, baby. I want to take one thing from what Carol just said, really quick. I'm actually being serious for once in my life. Carol, you brought up Creator Revolution. You and Block had a great back and forth discussion about 3D assets, and I want to pose this question to Bozia in a second. I want to let Gigi go, but Bozia, I'm going to let you know the question now, so you have time to prepare for me, which is quite simply that. Are you guys keeping in mind of creators that might want to do something with the Axis beings, especially since they're 3D assets? And let's be honest, 3D assets are a little bit tiny harder to do when you have a stigma attached to that particular, style. So we're gonna pose that question to you a little bit. You go ahead. I'm gonna let Gigi go first because she's got a whole family picture. She's got a doodle in there in the back left, right row, whatever. And so she's got a whole family of NFTs there. But Gigi, go ahead. What you're thinking?
That's a lot of slander for a man that butted himself up to 19,000 followers and then claims he didn't. Like, I saw the receipt, Samsa, and actually it went up like 4,000. I'm like, man, this man is butting himself. Slander.
The slander's crazy.
The slander
I
is
don't even know how to
crazy.
bot. I don't even know how to bot. I wish I
That's
did.
that's what they all say. That's what jeez. That's what they
Yeah.
all say. But damn, I'm excited to have you on the hot seat later. I love that gif of you like doing the hair flip with no hair and no neck.
Yeah, it's like the no comment. Like you're gonna put me in the hot seat. You're gonna ask me some difficult questions. Well, no comment, Your Honor. I don't recall. Cease and desist.
I plead the fifth. There's another one.
There's gonna be lots of hot questions. Like, oh man, I'm torching your asses today. Well,
I have my fan on. It's good.
you're their demon A.
He also got a new lawyer in this space, Gigi. I don't know if you know that.
I saw the hand went up as soon as I was doing the slander. What's up, Washta?
Immediate.
Can we just highlight how South American people are built different? Gigi came in here, she flooded Sansa, she shielded her own faces, and now she's calling out Washda. Like, just built different.
Yeah. Look. I was gonna let it go, and then she tried to throw it over. Hold on, Gigi. Let's take it down a notch. There's just a certain line that you can't cross as the speaker role and this goes for everyone. You can't be like, oh, I see your hand up. Let's throw it over to that person. You don't have. I don't see co-hosts. I don't see hosts. I don't see anything under that name. That's just. It's like you're breaking a code that we as Spaces hosts sworn in on that we just cannot do. Anyway, look, Wash, go ahead.
As a Spaces host, I just want to say that I was talking to them and Wash that raised his hand, so it made me think he had something to add specifically to that point. And Sansa, I hate seeing someone with their hand up for hours. I was just trying to do your life like a little bit more easier. So Wash that over to you.
Okay, first of all, Gigi saying that from firsthand experience, she did leave me my hand up for at least an hour in one of her spaces. But that's okay. We're moving on past that. Wash, go ahead, my man. What do you have to say for your new client?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Dem, that I think the first transaction didn't come through. Hopefully, it clears before Gigi's space, so I can help you out with those tough questions. Sansa, why do you hate women? Gigi gets to call on whoever she wants because of Max Riz. You're just being sexist.
There's the violence.
Sansa, you're going to up your fee as well because it's harder to represent clients that have that type of view on the world.
No.
Yo, watch that. You know what he's gonna do now? He's gonna pull I grew up with women card. That's the story he's gonna tell right now.
Yeah, he's gonna monologue about how he's mom and his aunt's rich.
Let's mute everyone. Let's just. I like the silence.
Look at that bean, baby. Let's go.
Okay, look, Bosnia. I'm sorry, but yeah, look. If you know me, you know that I grew up with 4 fucking women in the household. So
I don't know.
Yeah, you know damn well that I love women. Watch shotgun. Both of you go fuck yourself. Second of all, Bosnia, let's get to that question that I asked a while ago. Let's circle around to that. Bosnia, so what do you guys have in mind going forward? Maybe perhaps a little bit for creators in your community that may want to create with these 3D assets. Is that something that's in the cards for Axis?
Yes, most definitely. First things first, Sansa, I'm so sorry you get bullied in your own space, man.
I'm used to it, bro. I'm used to it. My own lawyer is trying to burn the show to the ground, and I have to constantly pay him off to not do it.
His co-host is the #1 footer, so he used to it.
Honestly, my co-host is like really, really close to being fired. Like, it's just so he's like on this thin line across the Grand Canyon, kind of close. Like, it's gonna happen at any given point, really. But yeah, I'm used to it. Don't worry, it's part of the whole dynamic. Let's be honest. Go ahead.
I love it. No, to make this answer short, I know we're up on time, but pretty much like we realize that in today's Twitter economy, like you need ambassadors and people who are active on Twitter to like represent your project, right? Because the project alone, like we're just a single Twitter account, meaning that only one source of our content is going to be coming from one Twitter account, right? But if we manage to hopefully create a creator economy within Axis Mundi where our holders feel proud that they can wear like a beings PFP, right? And that alone is like free marketing to Twitter, right? Because that's how literally you guys with the beans PFP, that's how you guys are raising awareness for Azuki, right? And it's like the same thing applies to a lot of these projects. Every single PFP that we wear, we're unconsciously representing like the brand of the project that we're wearing, right? So it's like reaching that point is obviously the goal. But again, it's like that's probably 3, 4, 5 months down the line, or whenever that timeline happens. But right now we're just focusing on putting the bricks down, making sure the foundation is set and straight. But as far as like future plans, you can definitely see that. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I feel like that's something that needs to be more in people's minds a little bit when any project is created, because it really does feel like, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, that Web3, this ecosystem that we got going on, is one of the strongest collective group of people that have as much knowledge about social media, the algorithm, even outside of Twitter. And I can really see us becoming some of the bigger content creators out there, to the point where it's just kind of like, yeah, every content creator out there is involved in NFTs, and it's kind of unavoidable, so, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of like my firm ideology, what I see happening in the next like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years of just like this small collective group that we got in this, we think is big, but let's be honest, it's really not. That we're gonna really take this to the next level in the next couple of years, as long as we stay the course, and as long as we realize that Dan was just saying this cycles, but you're saying it more in the context of projects. There's cycles for content creators too. It's just natural. It's going to happen. You're going to have your lows. The espresso shot is going to have his lows. Gigi's Hasi is going to have his lows, right? It's just natural. It's just going to happen. And I feel like we get so caught up into it way too much. And when that happens, as long as you know you're in it for the long term, it's okay to take a tiny bit of a break, put your phone down for the day, make sure you reorganize your priorities, make sure you reevaluate everything, make sure you have that kind of going forward. Anyway, my apologies. Did not mean to go in that long monologue. KRP, you got your hand up. What's good?
Yo, what's good, man? Just was listening to the vibes here. Love the topic, being an artist myself. Love the fact that creators are finally getting a say in things. And it's my first time here, Sansa. So just wanted to pop up and say hi. Because I saw actually a friend of mine, Mike, who's a big AKCB holder. He was in the crowd, so I saw him on a space and I jumped up. But yeah, love the conversation about the creator economy, Sansa, because I'm from a country where musicians literally, even in weddings, we don't get paid shit, man. So NFTs have truly changed my life, and yeah, man. What can I say? I mean, projects are working with artists now. The growth is slow, definitely for us. Like it's slow in the sense that you need to know the right people. Your communication has to be on point. A lot of people from my country can't speak fluid English like me, so they are still in deep waters, dark waters. So I want to find a way to help them, kind of connect the world of NFTs to them. But that said, definitely, I mean, everyone here has such a valid point in saying that creators definitely have seen the light of day.
I love that. That's a really good fucking point too. And I'll be honest, man, you are set up really, really well, knowing fluent English and being able to, you are literally bridging your own little gap, right? From where you are and bringing that to NFTs. And on top, you're almost essentially bringing the gap back into Web 2 a little bit, in a sense of like, yeah, I've made money because of this guy. I've made money now because of NFTs. I've made money being a creator in this. And so that's the beauty of all of this. Like, and by the way, thank you for that. I just want to say I appreciate you taking that care of me. Chris and I have talked about this a lot, is that the valuation that content creators put on themselves is really just kind of criminally just underrated. Like we need to do a little bit better. We need to realize at the end of the day, we are marketing, we are advertising, we are a voice that people, they want to discuss things with. In some cases, some people look up to you, et cetera, whatnot. Like it's up to us to make sure that we are curating it in the way that we want, right? I have a very specific idea of how I want to kind of carry myself, right? And I carry myself like I normally would. Sometimes I scream, okay, fine. Most of the time I scream, but I'm trying to do a little bit better in the sense of that I'm not going to get too excited, right? I'm going to kind of keep my emotions regulated, make sure that there's a specific topic that's getting through that needs to get through, because otherwise we're joking too much. People aren't retaining anything. They're just laughing. They might retain something, but you really want to try to guarantee that delivery a little bit. So don't worry, I'm not going to go off on another, comedic relief delivery information rant like I usually do every other space.
Too late.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, bro. Supposed to be out there preaching about how he carries himself. All I can imagine is how the hell does he carries that much thickness all in one person?
Well, there's some nice compliments for once. All right, Shotgun, I won't fire you today. Well, you live to see another day. Speaking of tomorrow, we just want to plug in a friendly reminder here. We do have the Polygon shot tomorrow. I have it in my pinned tweet. I will also pin it to the top of the Jumbotron if you guys want to set your reminders. Got Big Nails co-host as per the usual. And just a friendly reminder that Thursday, I cannot stress this enough, Thursday, we're starting at 10 a.m., 90 minutes earlier, because we have Armani, the founder of Mad Lads, because, well, he's the founder of Mad Lads, and he's in a different time zone. And he's got a lot to share. He's got plenty of advice to share, so you don't want to miss it. Even if you're coming in with one eye open and just barely pouring your coffee, we welcome you anyway. So please set that reminder too. It's in the thread that I've also posted to the top as well. But Fazia, I know that we were kind of doing a lot of juggling back and forth, balancing everything a little bit. Is there anything you want to mention that for people to take away that we may not have gotten to?
Yeah, it's gonna be that Sansa can't pronounce my name ever correctly.
I'm trying, bro. Let me learn.
I hear Bozia. Where
It said Balsia, bro. Like it's
Well,
balsa.
I feel like I'm saying
Balsa.
balsa otherwise. like balls. Like why do I have to say balls when I see a W? Makes no sense.
Oh man, no, I appreciate you, Sansa. But no, last thing is man, this is my third space today, guys. I've been awake since like 4:30 in the morning because I had to do a space with Shiv and also do the Access Mundi presentation all over again. So this is my third time doing it. But last thing I want to share is just honestly, I'm just be bullish on NFTs again. I miss this space when everything was just all positive and everything was just lit. So I just want to see those days being brought back into the timeline and just stay positive, guys. That's it.
I love it. Well, that will be the new meta coming up. Positive vibes. It won't be just fucking drama, reality TV show bullshit. So positive, well, I don't want to say positive vibes only because that's also toxic. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, bottom right hand corner, retweet the space, let's get it out there. I think today was a fucking banger space as per the usual. Right? No disappointment. We got them and we got Rose who came up on stage just chilling. She's just fucking, she's moving in her own house.
Happy birthday, Rose!
Happy birthday, Rose!
Happy birthday, Rose! Yeah, look,
Happy birthday, Rose!
I can't believe you actually got her on her actual birthday today. That is
Crazy. Isn't that wild? That's how
Happy
hard we work at
Rose.
it.
crazy. It's crazy to me. If you want the awareness of Rose's birthday today, I want you to quote retweet this spaces with "Happy Birthday, Rose."
Damn,
Make sure
Rose,
you
don't
tag
let him engagement farm your birthday.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
I
No
mean,
one's safe in this street.
Gigi, it's her one birthday. I have to.
It's not like it's her birthday every day.
Yeah,
It's not.
definitely,
no.
definitely not my birthday every single day except
This
for
is-
June 20th. This is very rare occurrence. Happens
This
once
is
a year.
this is the first time I've actually encountered Rose.
For those of you that
Happy
don't know, we wish Rose happy birthday every single day. It's part of the Azuki community and the Beans community. So if you ever see Rose on Twitter Spaces, doesn't matter what day of the year it is, unless it's her actual birthday. But just for safe measure, just wish her happy birthday.
Yeah,
Feliz cumpleaños, Rose.
Feliz cumpleaños!
Thank
Yeah,
you.
what they said. Anyway, that's just easier to do that. But yeah, so please, guys, go ahead, show some love in the comments. We always love seeing it. We always love retweeting it. We'll be back here tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. We will have a hard cap tomorrow because I have apparently a family thing that I have to go to, according to my wife, at like 2. And I have to go pick up my daughter beforehand. And apparently I also have to dress her. I don't know. There's this weird fatherhood thing that I have to do before we go to this fancy family fucking party that apparently is happening in the middle of the weekday, in the middle of the day, because no one fucking works. Crazy. Says the guy who hosts a 11:30 a.m. EST Spaces. So yeah. Anyway, look. Damn. You got any closing remarks before we wrap this up?
I just gotta say, Silence and Shotgun, you guys run some of the best spaces. Kuro, you've been through us with it. Wazda, I'm just still trying to hire you as an attorney, so just check the transactions. Faded, I love the analysis that you've done in the Beats community. Definitely deserve it. Chris D with the live stream. Oh my God, you want a person like that in your side. I'm just excited for the Azuki and the Beans community. Like I said, the art meta is coming back. Spirit Dow drops a comic. 24/7 drops a comic. Steve G with Neon Garden. You got Bobo Kids books. I mean, this garden just keeps building. So I'm just excited to see you all in Vegas and see you on the next 700 spaces that I'm doing this week.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's actually doing 700 spaces today, just today, actually. Shotgun, what you got?
Not much for me. Just looking forward for the Polygon shot tomorrow. Big news. We will have 2 projects coming up with the Big News crew. One of them is the Half-Full Homies. The other ones, actually, let me check on Big News profile just so I don't mispronounce or anything. Because, you don't want to be like Sansa and come in here and call Balsa Balsia or whatever.
You know what?
Because that's just crazy. Disrespectful and stuff.
It's about confidence. It's about the confidence of the delivery. And I was confident every time. And I'm more proud of that than the mispronunciation. So,
I got it. Half-Full Homies and Wrecked Dogs will be here tomorrow. Representing the Polygon community, talking about what they're building. And of course, if you have anything you want to learn more about Polygon, maybe you are building a Polygon product yourself, feel free to come by if you just want to vibe with us as well. Same vibes, same things. So just happy for everyone that pulled up in here. I see some hands up down there. So I'll throw it back to you, Sansa. But thank you all for pulling up. Grateful for you guys.
Yeah. You know what? We'll throw it to the hands real quick. I'll start with KRP, and then we'll wrap it up with Block, and then we'll wrap it up for me for the closing remarks. Go ahead, guys. What you got? KRP?
Hey, Sansa, what's up, man? Nothing much. I actually heard someone had a birthday, so I was wondering if I could just, play a song.
Yeah, you know what? You could be our
Let's
outro. You could be our outro song. So you go ahead and cue that up, and we're gonna go to Block. I'll do my closing remarks, and then I'll let you know. I'm gonna turn off my speaker now. Gonna turn that off. We don't need that. I'm gonna close my laptop. It feels so peaceful.
Yeah,
Block, what you got?
Yeah, so first I have to say, Rose, your bio, that shit's funny as fuck. Bad at video games, but I'll defend dubbed anime. Yeah, I love anime. Defend it with your life.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, FYI, guys, do not mess with the old guy when it comes to anime. Okay, especially when he starts laughing. Just know you're in shit. And then, shout out to all the mutants. I did my job. I came here defending. Put some respect on my mutant. Let's get it.
I will give it to you, Block. I've seen more defense played among the mutants than I have seen among the board apes. We'll say that. I will give you that respect. It definitely helps to have a major player like Threat Guy in your corner. Don't get me wrong. But otherwise, I'm kind of seeing across the board. I'm like, okay, mutants show up. They show up when they need to. They're not always there.
I'm gonna go up on his stage in a couple minutes and it'll be like Wanazuki. Just because he said that. I'm gonna peer pressure my boy Thread guy into getting an Azuki.
Okay,
Game
well,
over.
let's fucking do it. I mean, it's been long overdue, so let's do it. But no, look, guys. Closing remarks. Obviously, you guys know the typical mantra, but before we even get there, I really just want to thank you guys for coming to listen to these spaces. We've been doing this for 7 to 8 months now, maybe even 9. I don't know what month it is anymore. And we truly do enjoy doing these day in, day out. Have there been hard days? Absolutely. I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it. There has, but that doesn't stop us. That it just makes the overall mission that much easier, which is to educate you guys, make you laugh a little bit, make sure you have some fun, but also just kind of make sure there's critical discussion being had, and you're taking something away from the space each time, right? Even if you didn't learn anything, sometimes that just means like, hey, that's okay. You had a good time today, and that's learning something. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. You could have gone to any spaces today, but you came to this one, and I fucking love you for it. And we will see you back here tomorrow at the Polygon Shop. KRP, my man, cue up that happy birthday outro.
Let's go. Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me play this. Everyone, I'm KRP from India. Drop me a follow. I'll follow you back. DMs are open. Let's go. Here it goes.
Look at the outro dance.
Do you remember the day you walked up?
I thought he was gonna sing.
Gave me a candy, tasted like honey, straight out of Moscow. You were wearing golden rings. Faded green Birkenstocks,